All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Super Magic Show here on the Geekdom 101 YouTube channel. We're also live on X and on Twitch. If you're catching us on one of the other platforms and you happen to be clicking in, make sure you remember that the Geekdom 101 YouTube channel is the place to be for current Dragon Ball news, topics, and of course, history and lore. I dropped a video today that people are loving, going over some new developments when it comes to the Dragon Ball Super remake and the upcoming Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol Moro arc. So check that video out. But right now, we have a treat for y'all. We got a real treat. So we're going to be talking about the past. 2026, 30 years ago, the Dragon Ball Z English dub basically made its debut in syndication. And then later, a couple of years later, it went to Toonami. And that's where a huge amount of people got into Dragon Ball Z. So that English dub was a powerhouse of the late 90s as far as getting people in, because I think it's because of the fact that Dragon Ball is so great that every country Dragon Ball has ever been in, whether it be Latin America, whether it be Italy, France, Europe, anywhere in Europe, it's always popular. Dragon Ball has always been popular because it's that damn good and it transcends cultural boundaries. We're going to be talking about that and a lot more with my special guest. Now, what I find funny is there's Dragon Ball fans all over the world, and there's a lot of people that are subscribers and friends to the Geekdom 101 channel from all walks of life. We've got people, you know, who are voice actors and animators and just all kinds of people, but also athletes. We've got athletes as well who are, I know for a fact, there's people in WWE, there's people in AEW. I did a collab with a couple of them. There's people in the NBA and in the National Football League. There's a few as well. So I'm going to bring on my special guest today. Please welcome Mike Daniels back to the Super Magic Show, or back to Geekdom 101. What's up, man?
Hey, yo, listen. Sorry, I was looking at my phone because I got the chat right here. So I'm gonna be looking. Mike Daniels, a nerd like that.
They doesn't know.
Absolutely. They have no clue, man. They have no clue. I'm the one that got it kicked off in the NFL. So I got a documentary in Crunchyroll about it. Come on. But Danny, what's up, my boy?
Bro, I'm doing great. The era of the Jock and the Geek being two separate people is over. It's over, bro.
But were they ever two separate people?
That's a good point. No, I think a lot of athletes were like closet fans.
Come on,
man. Has that been your experience?
Come on, man. Yes. Think about it. Brian Dawkins, famed Philadelphia Eagle. His alter ego when he got on the football field was Weapon X.
Oh, Weapon X. That's right. Weapon X.
Yeah, Weapon X. He shopped at the same comic book shop that I first bought my first Dragon Ball subs from. The Anime Labs. He shopped at that same shop. That's Rob Mall, Voorhees, New Jersey. You know what I mean? He bought his Wolverine statue. He had a locker for him and a locker for his Wolverine statues, figurines. So yeah. Athletes have always, Shaq has a Superman tattoo. Come on, man. So that's what I'm saying is that
it's never really been, yeah.
It's never been mutually exclusive. But the thing is, and that's funny, I was reading something about this, movies, who produce these movies, right? You got to think about it. Okay, they paint the jocks as being jerk-offs.
Yeah, bullies, right? Usually bullies.
Right, the bullies. When, if you talk to some, nerds, they'll say, man, the athletes were some of the nicer guys. It was the kid I was competing with to be the top in our physics class who was the dick.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But because as an athlete, you get humbled because you have to get beat and face the fact that you got beat. So there's humility that comes with that. So you gain nothing. You gain nothing from bullying somebody.
Well, I also feel like too, and I'm not an athlete, but I have taken classes in martial arts in the past. I think if you take martial arts, or if you're in a sport like football, you get to take your aggression out when you're out there. Not that you're trying to hurt the other guy, but especially like you, for example, with sacking, and if you have any kind of frustrations, you're either going to take it out there or in the gym as you're working out to get the energy out. You have no time to pick on somebody, especially when there's nothing you really need from somebody when you have everything you need in here and in here. You know what I mean? That's why I think that more people need to take sports. Dude, my biggest regret in my life is my parents didn't get me into like team sports when I was younger. That's a huge regret, bro. Huge.
Well, it really, once again, it forces humility upon you. It really does. And a lot of times people, once again, they don't like the athletes because they're jealous, because a lot of times athletes, it's like, wow, you have this really physically dominant individual.
You're on
But yet
TV.
I mean, it was just talking about, but like school, right? Wow, but this guy, he's still so nice. He's cool to everybody. Like he things go wrong. He can handle the adversity. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to face that every day. And to your average person, I mean, some people, like, some people might look at that and get jealous and go like, well, why don't I have that same kind of peace? This person has everything. Look, they're physically this and they're that and whatever, and it's unfortunate that jealousy runs rampant like that.
I deal with it too. I deal with it too.
I know you do. I know you do, because you him.
Yeah.
You're him. You're him.
I appreciate that. And I've always gotten along with people who are in sports. When I was in high school, Shannon Snell, who played for the Gators, and I think he had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He wasn't there that long, but he was a guy, 6'5" dude, just a huge giant guy, bro. And he used to, hey man, did you record last night Hell in a Cell? Yeah. And he would watch he would watch more tapes of wrestling than the tapes that his coach told him to watch to improve his game. And I think it all started there. You know what I mean? Like I think people have to remember that at the end of the day, we're all just humans, and we all bleed the same. We all cry. We all deal with heartbreak. It doesn't matter how much weight you bench. It doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter how many Super Bowl rings you have. If like your wife cheats on you, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? It does not matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it hurts.
Some of the nastiest gamers I played against were my teammates.
You mean video gamers or
gamers? Gamers. I'm not talking about just Madden and Call of Duty. All right.
Okay.
Like, it's funny. Joe Burrow is a phenomenal Super Smash Brothers player. So is Geno Atkins. Wow. All right. And Geno's a massive weeb too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Joe Burrow and Geno, like they are nice in Super Smash Brothers. All right.
I mean,
I had some teammates I could not beat in Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, or Mario Kart Wii. Because those were the ones that were out. We didn't play the Super Nintendo one, but those were the ones that were out when I was in college. I couldn't beat them.
Right.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? So, once again,
I mean,
interest, man.
When we went to WrestleMania, there was like 5. You introduced me to like 5 or 6 people from the NFL. Like, it was packed, yo. And that's crazy because
we got a bunch of marks, man.
Yeah, and we went to the second to last Mania before they did the 2-night thing, and it was an 8-hour show that went on forever.
Oh yeah, baby.
But I was there for it though.
No, that was beautiful. And it's funny too because it's amazing how corporate, and this kind of leads into what we're talking about, how corporate will disregard what the fans want. Now, you don't always got to listen to the fans. You got to stand on business, right? But the fans are the ones they're buying the product. Yeah, so when we're hearing Rusev Day throughout the whole city,
that's right. that
outside the
weekend.
Mercedes, like when we're hearing Rusev Day and Rusev loses, well, that's like a massive one of these to, it's a massive FU to the fans because it's like, yo, you clearly see, sometimes you just got to give the people what they want, right? And
Yeah.
shout outs to Sabat and Schemmel because of their interactions with the fans. There's an understanding of what the fans want. And now they're wholly dedicated to being as close to the source material as possible. Now, mind you, these were guys who came in as I can understand, rookie actors.
Yeah.
When they got the gig, a lot of the people, they were in-house. You know, that's why a lot of them are from Texas, right? Funimation.
Yeah.
So they were kind of just, they got a gig and they were just, you know, they were just doing their job. Hey, read these lines. Read these lines. Like the desire for the source material, I don't think was as present as it is now. Social media, well, the internet, I should say, has connected the world so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That now corporations can listen and hear from the fans. Remember the original Sonic design in the movie?
That's right. And you know what's funny? Every time Toei would post about anything, there were hundreds. Where's Super? Where's Super? Where's Super? Bring back Super. Bring back Super. And man, did that. That's the thing. The Japanese, though, they really don't care. The Japanese will read that and they do what they want. But the topic that I wanted to get into today was your choice, but I agreed with you on the topic, which is the Dragon Ball Z English dub. And before we dive in, I do have a one super chat here. Let me get these quickly out of the way here. Yeah. Thank you, Luke Johnson, for becoming a member. Thank you, Frank Flesh, and thank you, Trev King 21. Okay, this is for you. The influence of Dragon Ball or anime has had in the NFL. I've seen players celebrate by referencing Dragon Ball. That's you and I talked about that in an interview years ago that I did with you as part of Icons. So check out that interview, you guys in the who are watching live. But what is your reply to this? Because has it gotten bigger since then? I assume, yeah, but you tell me.
Anime is normal now. Anime is normal, and Dragon Ball is as regular as Superman and Batman, you know, is to the general public, right? Nobody thinks about, oh, you're a Spider-Man fan, you're a nerd. No, that went out the window like in the 90s. You see what I'm saying? Anime. Now it's like you're an anime fan. That's just a lot of people like anime now. Bro. A lot of females are open about liking anime now, you know, so it's, and I'm talking about people that you wouldn't expect. So yes, it wasn't like that when I got in the locker room, and we talked about this almost 10 years ago at this point, right? 2017. But I'll rehash it. It was 2017. It was not like that when I got into the locker room. And it's a funny story about that, actually. After we had our show, I go into work, and one of our scouts, who's one of the head scouts in Green Bay now, he said to me, yo, man, great job on Geekdom. That was awesome.
Oh, my God. You know how weird it is when somebody says so-and-so watches you? It's so weird. Yeah. I mean, just when I found out that you did, that's right. Just so, like, what's going on here? Like, you know, right. you just never know, you know? It's why, and that's what I tell people who are starting a YouTube channel. Like, you never know who's watching. It could be about any topic. In fact, if you're covering sports, let's just say, I'll use your line of work, and somebody makes a video about you and your career, chances are you might give that video a view, and they might never even know that you watched it. They might never even know, and that's crazy.
Well, I've always loved to interact, you know, with you know, my fans and whatnot, online and social media and everything. And because I know what it's like to be a fan of something and like to be able to like meet people who you're a fan of. Like, I'm a fan of you, you know, I'm completely like I've branched, you know, listen to some other people, but like you are like my source for Dragon Ball now, right? Like there's just certain people that stand above the rest, right? I remember back in the days of the internet, late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s as in like 98, 99,
Yeah,
in the
when
early
Toonami
2000s,
was
like
blowing up.
right. So, Mike Labrie, I think is how you say his last name, Vegetto X, there's Zenshu they combined with Ken Zenshu,
Kanzenshu.
Zenshu X, like
Yeah.
that, like they were, they were a step, like Planet Namek was an information dump, but they, no disrespect to them, but they were just a cut above everybody else because they really took it to like, here's information that like we got the translated interviews. We've spoken
Shout
to
out to
this
Herms.
person, this that, right?
He's been
And now,
translating for 25 years, bro,
so
for
you
us.
have basically become that in this new era of Dragon Ball information, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
everybody
appreciate it.
goes to YouTube and whatnot now.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and it's true, and that's I really do appreciate the kind words. It's yeah, and yes, okay. Somebody talked about this shirt. Mike told me before we got on the air that next time he sees me, he's gonna kick my ass because I'm wearing this shirt. Right here.
Nah, no, that shirt, that shirt is
Okay,
that shirt's a lot more honest than you guys would think. I'll leave it at that. Go through a
man,
YouTube rabbit hole.
bro. This shirt, I bought it when I was bigger. I was heavier. I'm down to like 210 pounds now. But when I bought this
Okay.
shirt, yeah, I mean, you remember in 2018, I was disgusting. I mean, I looked at myself, pictures of me back then, and I'm like, God, I look so gross.
That'll
But
do it.
this was like a 3X or the 2X, I think. And so I haven't worn it in a while, so it's kind of baggy on me. You can tell it's an older shirt, but this was one of the early wrestling shirts from Barbershop Window, and that's how long ago it was. And I just thought, let me find the shirt and wear it when Mike is on the air, just to see if he reacts to it. But you never get mad at anything, bro. Well, you do, but not that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't. Especially when it's the truth. But continue.
Okay, all right. Hayden Beer says, I've seen so many females get into Dragon Ball. Actually, Danny, I'm introducing my female friend to Dragon Ball in episode 3 right now, and she seems interested. Well, I'm so glad you started with Dragon Ball and you're doing it the right way. I do have a video on the channel called The Geekdom Order on how to watch Dragon Ball. So I would follow that as best you can, just because I've thought about this a lot, bro. But there's a big but here. When it comes to Super, things are going to get very complicated real soon, because I would tell people Battle of Gods, the movie, Resurrection F, the movie, then start watching Super at episode 28. But now that we have a Super remake coming, this year, it's going to start, that may complicate things. So we're going to have 4 different tellings of Battle of Gods, technically 5. The theatrical cut of Battle of Gods, the extended cut of Battle of Gods, the manga, the Super anime, and now Dragon Ball Super Beerus. There's no other story in Dragon Ball that's gotten this many adaptations in history except this one. And that's wild, bro. What did you think? I haven't talked to you too much about this. What did you think about the idea of them kind of realizing, okay, we screwed up with Super, let's give it a second chance? And let's try again. What do you think about that decision?
I love just the general idea of, once again, like listening to the fans, like really appreciating your fan base and understanding that this is one of the most cherished forms of media of all time. It really is, right? So they are, excuse me, by redoing it, they've looked and said they saw the poor animation, right?
Toriyama complained.
I don't know.
He never complains about anything.
You get what I'm saying? That and Dragon Ball Evolution, right? So
except that, yeah.
This and we got to thank Dragon Ball Evolution. That's what brought about this whole new wave, right? But man, I appreciate that the fans have a voice. And when you do a love letter to your fans, man, that's, I'm all for that. I'm all for that, man. That's great stuff. That really is.
And that's a Kyo. That's not Toei. That wasn't even Toriyama. Toriyama doesn't even. People seem to. I obviously you know this, but Toriyama before he passed away. He never had social media. Anytime you saw Akira Toriyama Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, it was not him. He's a very, very private, old school man. The most he did was email, right? That's Toriyama, and it was a Kyo that told him, hey, Broly's popular. Let's redo a Broly story. And then you have the movie. Hey, Super Saiyan 4 is popular. You want to take a hand at that? And that's how Daima came about. So I do find all of that interesting. So someone's asking about the Hans Zimmer thing. I'm going to just real quick ask your thoughts on that. Did you see the Hans Zimmer like tribute package, bro? I think
did.
was beautiful.
I saw the promo. It was, I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. Too. I thought it was awesome. And that just kind of goes into the transition of anime itself as a medium, but what's the Dragon Ball is making with its, three musical choices, right? Remember, it was like live bands, and you could hear the instruments and whatnot in the old Kikuchi score, right?
Yeah.
And you compare that to like a lot of pop synth type of sounding music in anime from the 80s and the early 90s, right? Particularly in the 80s, right? So it was very unique. Like you said before, it had like the Kung Fu movie type of feel. Now we're transitioning into more of a, I don't even know the word to use, but well, a lot of music has more of a theatrical feel now.
Yeah.
Just in general in anime.
Yeah. Well, because
Hans Zimmer, hey.
He can do anything. But I'm saying, like with superhero, they got Naoki Sato, who's great. And that soundtrack is straight up like he watches Marvel movies. And that's something else too about the whole thing about the rise of the geek culture. The fact that Marvel has multiple billion-dollar movies, man. The era of like Iron Man being a B player in the comics and all that is done. Marvel movies are making that much money now. There's no question that now the people that were considered the casuals, and there's still casual fans out there. You're still going to have your levels, but now, like we're pointing out, stuff that was that would be seen as being nerdy back in the day, comic books, is blowing up, and there's more people playing video games now than ever before. It's just, we live in a different world. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. I like this world.
It's a way different world. It's cool. It's cool. You have actual rappers and like who are and like Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. I believe it was the one Killmonger outfit represented Vegeta's armor, and he said that.
That's right.
He said that.
He was amazing in that role.
Oh my goodness.
And
you get what I'm saying?
Creed 3 with where they took the fight, the Goku versus Vegeta fight, and took scenes from it and made it.
Some of the fight choreography, absolutely.
Yeah. This question right here, normally I would like. I mean, I'm guessing you're gonna no comment it, but I mean, I don't know how to. I only took it because it's a super chat, which means that he's paying extra to ask this question. So I don't know. How do you want to answer it?
When the more money that is at stake that can be made, the more questionable decisions you'll see. I'll leave it at that.
There you go. I mean,
I'll leave it at that.
And if you have any questions about that kind of stuff, there's a Michael Franchise interview with Vlad TV that talks about the stuff the mob used to do. There's a lot of stuff out there. So let's talk about the main topic here, which is the Dragon Ball Z English dub. Now, here's the thing. I got to be careful,
man.
I know.
Oh my gosh, let's do this.
I have actually prepared a lot of samples. First of all, look, I live in reality. I'm very aware that the Dragon Ball Z English dub is nostalgic. I know a lot of people grew up with it. That's all every dub defender says is it's what I grew up with. That's the line. And it's weird that they all say it like they're kind of the Borg, like this hive mind, because they always say the same thing. I grew up with it. I grew up with it, which I understand that and I respect it because I grew up with it too, right? But that just because you grew up with it doesn't mean that it's necessarily like if I grew up, I'll give you an example. If I grew up and my parents taught me that stealing is not wrong, and then I grow up and I learn that stealing is wrong, that means that it doesn't matter how I grew up, I learned. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But what I do want to say is, look, this show we're about to do, no one's trying to crush your nostalgia. No one's trying to break your memories or ruin your childhood. It's just my goal has been to make Dragon Ball fans understand the series better from day one. And the reality is that there are so many things wrong with the English dub that have led to so many misconceptions from people and misunderstandings about the character. Some don't give a shit. Some just don't care. But I feel that if people learn the real Dragon Ball story, they would actually like it more. If you learn who Vegeta really is and Frieza and Goku, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'll give you the floor. Whatever you have to say. I have examples too we could pop up. So,
Danny, this was the whole purpose of me wanting to speak with you and get on camera. And when I'm looking at this, so I'm looking at the chat, by the way, people, but to get on camera.
There's a lot of questions, but we'll hold off on those for a while. Yeah.
Because
something happened to you, man. Something happened.
It's just the lack of appreciation for the actual art itself and the author's intent and the actual story and the actual characters and the emotional highs and lows and everything in between.
Yeah.
When it's one thing to have your preference, right? I go online, I'm on the Internet Archive, I'm downloading the old recordings from, that certain block of time from that whole Toonami people who record the whole full episodes,
the commercials,
all that. I'm loving it, right? And I'm like, man, I'll watch the Ocean dub. Got things I loved about it. I watched the new one. I got the new Funimation 99 dub. I got things I love about that. I got music I love from it. Them Faulner scores, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of the voice acting and how it's saying. There's so many things about the dub that I love.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very nostalgic for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Also nostalgic for stuff with the original too, but we're not talking about that. My thing is, I'll never forget when I first heard it. I'm in 5th grade. And that's when they had the DVDs where you can hear, the Japanese
bilingual
track.
Yeah.
Right. And I get to mention it and you hear, oh, Goku sounds like an old lady. Oh, the music sounds like what they said, sounds like Scooby-Doo music. And I'm like, huh? Because I'll never forget when I first heard those tracks, the Kikuchi score in the Pioneer dub of
the original 3 movies, right?
Right. Not the third one. I saw that one later. I only saw the TV version, but I saw the original third one.
Right.
Maybe
that
year
one has
later.
that one has 2 different dubs. Yeah.
Right. So when I'm watching the continuation of the Game Saga, and I'm like, yo, this is the music from the movies. Because I loved it when I watched the movies. I love those scenes when when Piccolo kills one of Garlic Jr.'s men. You know what I mean? Or when Garlic Jr. transforms and fights Piccolo and Goku for the first time. Like, those two battle scores, and I hear them, and I'm like, yo, that's from the movies. Oh, I like, yo, this is tough. Because when I heard it in the movies, I'm like, yo, this music is awesome. That's what I was saying at 11 years old.
Right.
10, excuse me.
Because it's like the real instruments, you know what I mean? Like I love Star Wars. I mean, I fell in love with Star Wars before Dragon Ball. And when you have like any of these scores that are like real instruments, for me anyways, it just packs a punch, you know?
Well, it's designed specifically for these scenes. That's why. It's designed, it goes into the feel of the show, right? So when we have proven those who wanted to make alterations to the source material, we've proven them right. And I say we, the American populace, right? Because as a whole, we have shown that we do have the, what do you call it? The attention span of a gnat.
TikTok brain.
We have shown that I need loud, bang, bang, noise all the time. I can't have bouts of silence. I'll get bored and turn the channel. We've shown that. We've shown that no matter how badly you may butcher a script, no matter, as long as it was funny, as long as it was awesome, as long as it sounded cool, I don't care if that wasn't the original character's, the author's original intent for this character. We are okay with missing actual story beats, right? Actual jokes. I was just talking to my mans about this the other day, how Goku should sound like a hick, and Chi-Chi should sound even
They're both
more
country
like that. And Gohan should sound like a scholar. That's the joke.
Yeah.
That's the joke. That further goes into why Vegeta has actual respect for Gohan. Because he's like, you're more like me than your dad. Right? That's why Gohan and Piccolo work so well, because you have this ancient, spawn of a demon king who speaks in, speaks in I don't know how to say, very proper, like drama, right?
Frieza speaks like an aristocrat.
Right, and he connects with this kid who also is like that. That's a whole dynamic of Gohan we're losing, right?
Yeah.
And once again, okay, we're talking about dialect and all that. Well, you give everybody else accents. Goku should have been the heck. That's where he's from. He's from the country.
I did ask Sean about that once. I was like, because I brought it up to him on the phone. I was like, Goku's supposed to be a redneck. And he goes, yes, I know. And we actually tried that. He said that, and I wish I could have heard this, bro. It would have been sweet if I had heard it. He said that he tried to record Goku with a hick accent, and it just didn't sound right. But he is somebody. The thing that I find most interesting about this whole dub thing is that I want to say this, first of all. When I criticize the dub or disparage it, like, a lot of people stick up and defend the dub and they attack me for it. And in reality, though, but in reality, I'm actually sticking up for them. And here's why.
Come on.
The reason as to why the dub had so many changes, why they censored characters, changed motivations, music playing nonstop, is because Barry Watson from Funimation, the executive producer, and Gen Fukunaga felt that American kids did not have the attention span to watch Dragon Ball. So let me ask you a question. Why is it that Mexican kids and South American kids and French kids and Japanese kids and Chinese kids, why is it that they can handle the original story, understand it, they don't turn the channel off, they become hardcore fans, but Americans can't? So what you're basically saying is you think that American kids are stupid. I'm sticking up for you. I'm sticking up for people that watch the dub to say you deserve better. And look, I understand censorship. Like, if you want to censor out religious iconography, if you want to censor out violence or even some of the sex jokes, you can see Bulma's nipples and Goku's dick in OG Dragon Ball. Cutting that
Yeah.
stuff out of the TV broadcast makes perfect sense. I've never been against that, including the scene. Even I said the scene where General Blue were in the anime, he's kind of a PDF file. Let's just say he'd be on the Epstein list. And the other one,
I mean, weren't they on the island when they fought him, or they were underground? Either way, continue.
No, well, thankfully Roshi was not on the list. But
oh my gosh.
The Russian roulette scene in the Princess Snake episode where she just shoots herself. Okay, cut that out of the tsunami.
Yes. Understood.
Right. But changing the things Vegeta said, and I have examples to show. I'm going to show y'all some clips that I have pulled today. We're going to watch clips of the dub with the Japanese subtitles on so you can see how it's been butchered and changed.
Yo, I hope my man is watching this right now. I think he is. Because that's what we used to do. Let's watch it in English and let's watch. I did that with him. I was like, yo, I like to watch my anime. I like to have the sub at the bottom because I need to know what was really said. I need to know what was changed.
Yeah, well, that's
and Dragon Ball is one of the worst offenders. And to another point, now think about Toonami. Sailor Moon retained more than Dragon Ball did.
Yeah, and even
the DIC, whatever.
The Dick
Pause,
dub,
whatever.
yeah.
Right, even dub. That dub, right? The Saban dub. Ronin Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing was a great dub.
All the Tenchis.
Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star. Big O. So why is Dragon Ball the only one that's like, you know what?
Well, Pokemon too.
With ourselves. Pokemon was actually super, no pun intended, to Dragon Ball. Pokemon was actually super faithful. Why? And I think I read something that said that because a lot of it tied to the video games, like the battle music and stuff like that. So marketing, because we know for kids, right? Their reputation with
for kids did the old IPs. One Piece dub. Yeah, people hate. It's funny. People have a lot of energy when it comes to 4 kids ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! But Dragon Ball Z? No, man, I have to watch it with Falconer or else I can't watch it.
Here's what messed up 4 kids with Yu-Gi-Oh! Since you mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
I think Funimation actually did a dub of like the first 11 episodes of 12. And it was...
I didn't know that.
For Funimation. It might have been Funimation. It was somebody, and the dub was actually faithful to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Source material with the music, the opening. I mean, hearing Yu-Gi say for the Curse of Dragon, Hellflame, right? I'm like, but they didn't go no further.
But you know what's weird, and this is so weird, is when Funimation was first blowing up.
Yu and Kenshin, yep.
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho had an accurate dub, and it was being done by virtually the exact same people that did Dragon Ball, and yet Dragon Ball was still butchered. Because when Yu Yu Hakusho was coming out, GT was on, and GT turned Goku into some kind of environmentalist Captain Planet character. Like
I didn't even watch the GT dub. After I heard the Welcome to the Grand Tour, whatever the rap, I'm like, I can't watch this.
It's so condescending, bro.
They did a good job making Goku sound like an angry Super Saiyan 4. Okay,
yeah,
they did. Yeah. They actually
Sean is a great screamer.
Well, but
yeah, but and it's so condescending, bro, because you can tell it's a bunch of Texas hicks sitting in a room. Well, the kids, they like rap, so we gotta have a rapper. Are you? And then don't forget the Did You Know GT promo that straight up spit in the face of people that watched it in Japanese. Like, it's just the point is that, like, it's weird that I've seen One Piece fans scream at the fact that Zoro was named Zolo in the dub, but those same One Piece fans are okay with Paikuhan being Paikon, Mr. Satan being Hercule, like it goes Grand Elder being Guru. It goes now. I am gonna say this, okay? Once again, I want to make this very, very clear, right? They changed Kami's name, like Kami literally translates to God.
It means God. That was the whole him and King Piccolo, God and the devil type of thing.
But I understand why in the 90s they kept it as commie, because and this is something we do have to tell the people about. We got some young people in the crowd too that don't know. They're not from our era. This is not just a problem with Funimation. Harmony Gold, 4Kids. In the 90s, they had the parent-teacher council. Every cartoon, whether it be Japanese or American, had to follow guidelines. Anything religious had to get cut. So hell becomes HFIL, the home for infinite losers. Kami becomes, who's a god, becomes a guardian.
The guardian.
I actually understand all that. I understand that. And I would never fault Funimation for trying to toe the line on that, right? However,
I agree with you, man.
But there's a big but. When you are selling VHS and DVD products that say uncut and you're still editing and you're still censoring stuff, that's false advertising. And I don't.
Why didn't we get an uncut version of the Ocean dub? Like, why couldn't we have? Why, you know how? Like, why? And I'm curious.
Well,
like,
there are edits out there, but yeah, not an official one.
But I'm saying, like, why wasn't there like how? And that's why I appreciated Funimation. I'll never forget when a commercial came out announcing Z-Day, and I saw blood in the trailer. I'll be real with you. I've never been so happy to see Raccoon's ass than when it came on TV.
That's right.
And I was like,
yo, after 2 years, we're back, right?
Yo, like his butt, like, okay, like, it's not going to be completely uncut, I'm sure, but wow, there's blood. Oh, these people die now. Oh man, you get what I'm saying? So I wonder, like, shout out to Funimation for actually giving us the sub, you know, and then giving us uncut versions. But why? And I'm sure you know this, but why was there not ever an uncut version of the original 53 episodes, which we know was cut down to 53? But like, why?
Well, remember, they redubbed them as the Ultimate Uncut Edition.
No, I know that.
But they were still
when
cut.
It first aired. Why wasn't there like the Pioneer dubs? You could buy the censored, the TV version of the VHS, or the uncut version.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Why wasn't there an uncut version of the original episodes, man?
Well, Saban, I think, probably has something to do with it. I think what happened is, and this is something I talked to Sabin about a while ago, is but when they had got like when Funimation got Dragon Ball, they could not touch the first 2 seasons, and they couldn't touch OG Dragon Ball's first 13 episodes because there was some rights issue. It's a legal thing, bro. You know how it is. And there was a rights issue where like Kidmark owned those episodes until like sometime in the 2000s, which is why it took them so long to actually redub those episodes. So that's why people get confused. And if you're watching the original Toonami run, Dragon Ball Z has 276 episodes. But if you're watching the Ultimate Uncut and then the Funimation dub, or the Japanese, the original Japanese or the Spanish dub, it's 291, right? So I've seen a lot of people, even to this day, who are like, wait a minute, I thought there were 276 to this day. And the thing is, I just feel like the uncut option should have been an option for us back then. But even putting all the censorship aside, that's not what pisses me off. What pisses me off is the changing of characters and the dumbing down of Dragon Ball. Here's what irritates me. The fact that these corporate suits looked at the American children and said, American kids are dumber than Mexican kids, Japanese kids. Like, how dare you? Look, I'm Cuban. I wouldn't even classify. I mean, I'm a Cuban American. I live here, but I was not born here. But even I, as somebody who lived here and had a lot of white friends and black friends and all kinds of friends, like, why do you, in your mind, believe that all of a sudden we can't handle the original show? Like, and that irritates me because, and here's the other point, and I'm going to just straight up say this. If you have the audacity to try to lecture me about how much you respect Akira Toriyama and you defend that fucking dub, dude, you have your head in your own culo, because That is a hugely contradictory statement. If you respect Toriyama and Koyama, you're not going to want to watch the dub because the dub butchers his story. And I have proof. You want to get to the clips, bro? It's up to you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this comment. I said, I just hate that a lot of the dialogue, funny dub, sounds like a style of stuff a fifth grader come up with. I was in fifth grade.
Yeah.
I was smarter than that to be like, this sounds stupid. Mondo cool. Cat loves Yum Yum. I was in fifth grade, literally in fifth grade when the new episodes came out. Like okay. And
yeah, you were a kid.
Even before then, I'll never forget. My brother was across the street, you know, at the neighbor's house. They were playing and whatnot. And I was watching DBZ 20XL, and Vegeta said, your father was a brilliant scientist. I ran out the house across the street. Sean, my brother's name is Sean. Sean, Goku's dad was a scientist. I'm in fourth grade.
You knew. I'm sorry, you didn't know that was the BS line.
And when I found out, I was tight. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. Seriously? Like, why did you have to do that?
And this is the thing. Here's what really, they had copies of the Japanese scripts and they just tossed them. Now, the good news, and there is good news to this, is that, look, I'll admit this. I do watch most of my anime dubbed, but before I watch the dub, I always ask people who are more experienced than me, okay, how is the Solo Leveling dub? How is the Fire Force dub? Like, I like people to tell me the truth on that. But with Dragon Ball, when I started watching it in Japanese, obviously I watched it in Japanese because they had newer episodes that the Americans didn't have. So I could watch the Cell Saga, the Buu Saga before it aired in America. But when I started learning about all the censorship and the changes, that's when it was like, and again, the censorship isn't even, I understand censoring stuff for TV. You got to play with the guidelines. If Cartoon Network says we're not going to air this, if you keep that in there, cut it out. I get it. I really do. As an executive who wants to make money, I get it. But changing the characters and adding dialogue where there is no dialogue is so like you're hurting.
Why would you defend that? That's the purpose of me calling you and say, yo, I want to talk about this.
Thank you.
Because I would see so many people online like,
I still see
Vegeta,
it.
like, yo, I noticed what he originally said. He just sounds so much more savage in this. What?
No, bro, my favorite.
What?
And I'll give Sabat credit in that his Majin Vegeta performance is good. I will never take that away.
I'm talking about the dialogue, the performance. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the straight up dialogue. He just sounds like a savage right here. Yeah, he sounds different American.
He sounds like a savage
American. Because guess what? In the Japanese version, the original version, they literally are acting out the same actions. He's just saying different words. He's not more savage because he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, and he
are stupid. You are stupid. They were right. You're stupid. You're stupid. They're right. You're stupid.
Mike, I told you I'm not the only one that crashes out over this, y'all. We've got an NFL superstar crashing out over Dragon Ball on my stream, bro.
You are stupid. You were correct. You proved Mr. Watson and Fukunaga correct. You're stupid. Because we're sitting and saying, hey, you know what? Appreciate the original. Nah, man, nah. That's trash. This is the real stuff right here.
Anybody who says that the original is trash has never watched it. I assure you of that. Because what I tell people, right? And I say this with love. I'm not saying this in any way to like demean people. Is if you watch Dragon Ball from episode 1 Pilaf to the Buu saga all the way through Dragon Ball and Z. Don't worry about Super GT and Daima. Just Dragon Ball and through Z. You will not only get like an understanding of the real story. You will get used to Nozawa and eventually prefer her because you'll hear how her voice changes with Kid Goku and Adult Goku and Gohan and Goten and Bardock and Tullis and Black, right? You know what I'm saying?
So Chris Saros, is that the Dragon Ball Uncensored guy?
I remember him. Yeah, now Ryan Molina owns the site, but yeah.
Yeah, Vegeta Insane, right?
It's still up. Yeah, him.
Right.
Him.
Yeah.
It's still up. That site is
So
still up.
he
all
made a
these
good
years.
point. A lot of stuff I get is from watching, like reading his stuff when I was younger. He made a great point when he said, think about characters you introduced. Like, think about The Simpsons with Bart Simpson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a woman's voicing them. A lot of women voice young little boys. But when they show the episodes like of them being in the future and he's a grown man, he still has that voice. And nobody goes like, "Why does he sound like a woman?" It's like, no, that's Bart's voice.
Well, not just that, but also with Nancy, not Nancy Kerrigan. What the hell's her name? Cartwright. When Nancy Cartwright plays old Bart, she deepens her voice. Same thing with Nozawa playing adult Goku, like she does. And if you hear Kid Goku and adult Goku, if you watch Daima, at least you should be able to pick up on the difference.
Now, I do like adult Gohan's voice or teen Gohan, what older Gohan. I do.
You talking about like the dub voice?
Yeah, that's the change where I'm like, look,
Kyle
Bear. But I'm glad that I like his adult voice. Like, if he would have kept, you know what I mean, the same. I like him having an adult voice. But in the Japanese version, the original version, I do appreciate Miss Nozawa keeping in the same with it.
Well, also, I do feel like it's harder for women to do adult men's voices. Only some can do it. So I don't think, and I love Stephanie, but I just don't think Stephanie can play like an adult male. I think she can play like a male kid, and she'll even admit that to you, bro. Like, she would feel uncomfortable trying to deepen her voice like that,
Yeah, like, I mean,
but some can do it.
Yeah, nah, it was right. It was great. Somebody made a good point. Bobby Hill, he has the same voice.
That's true.
As an adult.
That's true. Well, and the thing is,
I'm glad they made the change.
So. Yeah, no. Some of the dub changes as far as like those kind of things. I agree with you. It's just the changing of the dialogue, and that's really what hurt Dragon Ball. At the very least, man, when they got to the Buu saga, it wasn't as changed. But that Frieza saga and that Cell saga, man, oh boy. Let me get to some clips, but first, let me get these questions out of the way. We got 7 questions. I'm gonna get them in super chats just for love. Happy for y'all. Awesome show. Thank you so. He's an MMA fighter. That guy's a fighter, bro. Ralphie Mars, what are your thoughts on the Benito Bowl? That's for you, I think.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. What I'm learning is that no matter what, somebody gonna be mad at you. Everybody talks about, black people, like, kneeling for the flag and all that other stuff. But yet now in the same NFL, you get a brother on stage honoring the American flag, honoring his American culture, right? Like, with the flag, bunch of people dressed up like the flag. Samuel Jackson asked Uncle Sam, and people were still mad at him. So no matter what you do, somebody gonna be mad no matter what. Benito Bowl was cool. It was entertaining. My best friend, my brother, he's from Nicaragua, you know what I'm saying? And he was telling me like about a lot of the Easter eggs in the performance and whatnot. So that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just like you were saying, B. Cuban, like, there's stuff that I wouldn't pick up on, you know what I mean? Just like there's stuff that Kendrick did that's like, yo, that was cold that he put on there. So no matter what.
The fact that he kept the Drake disc that surprised me when I heard it. I was like,
damn, that did not surprise me either. Because realistically, Drake's from Canada. He's like, yo, listen, this is about the USA. You're not about to come here and disrespect this culture.
Period. I didn't think about it that way, man. That's
absolutely. Because we don't get tied to being patriotic. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a whole nother conversation, But with that being said, the Benito Bowl's cool, man. It was straight. It was straight, man. It was cool.
All right, fair. I'll answer this question for you, bro. The answer is one word, Shueisha. I answered this years ago, and that's still the case. If you're wondering why Viz has not gotten any manga, it's Shueisha. I actually asked like the vice president of Viz about this years ago, and Shueisha. So that's the reason. Junior, sub Mike and Cuisine. I don't know why you're calling me Cuisine, bro, because you want to eat me. I don't know. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? Wow. Them field goals carried the Seahawks. And Mike, you know about Alberto Loco. Okay, one at a time, bro. I guess he wants to get your thoughts on the Super Bowl, being somebody who obviously has been in the game at high levels. What do you think?
BTA belt. I'm a defensive lineman. Used to play defensive lineman, And the team with the best D-line is going to win. And we saw that within the last 2 Super Bowls. So it has just been straight beat down. And I loved it. I ain't worried about field goals. I'm worried about that whipping that the Seahawks defensive line laid on the freaking Patriots.
You know, it's interesting, man, because this reminds me a lot of like MMA. There's a similar thing in MMA. So I think, and I am no expert, all right, but I feel like I saw some people saying that the game, it wasn't that exciting, this, that, and the third. I think if you understand the intricacies of what goes into a good defense, sort of like Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens back in 01, if you understand the intricacies of that defense, right, it can be really entertaining because you're watching out. There's things that you've told me in conversations that I never even realized because I don't play. Like, things that you can only know if you play, like watch out for this and look where he's moving. Little intricacies, right? And it reminds me of how when people watch MMA fights, right, people want to see the knockdown, drag out fight. But when it gets to the ground, some people are like, oh, this is boring. When if you take jiu-jitsu or if you at least study it, you know that these holds and counter holds are actually
technical it really is.
Yeah. So I think that's one of those things where I think football aficionados who understand defense probably loved it. Whereas the casuals who were just there eating their popcorn and their chips were like, we want to see a field goal. And I get it. Like, I'm sorry, not field goal, touchdown. Want to see them Hail Mary. I get it too. Like the big passes, the highlights and the big runs. Of course, everybody loves that. They're beautiful. But the defense, I mean, it's basically the way I always look at it is you got the two lines and they're crashing almost like a beam struggle, right? You're trying to get through, and you've taught me, like I said, we've had conversations where you've taught me, like, you haven't showed me, but you've taught me, like, you have to. There's certain places you have to put your hands, like it's very technical.
It's a combat. Being a lineman is a combat sport.
Yeah, you can get hurt
really
easily.
Is an art. It really is an art being a lineman. It truly is an art being a lineman. You get what I'm saying? There's so much that's happening in that scrum, so to speak, in that like mass clashing of humanity that is so intricate and so, you gotta be so meticulous. The slightest hand movement could be the difference between you blocking somebody or you giving up a sack that gets your quarterback knocked out the game.
And it's funny because when I was a kid, I played Tecmo Bowl, and we all did, and then Madden. And in these games, you see the plays, and you see like the little arrows coming down, right? Yep. And so because those players are all computerized, with AI, they're just gonna sort of, and that's why. And this is, and you know this better than I do, bro. I would never pretend that I'm an expert at all, but like, even though video games are good at doing simulations, it can't ever be like the real thing. Here's why. Because those linemen in the game are going to be moving in a direction that the computer basically signifies them to move. But if you're a human being and you're out there at the line, right, and you're playing, right, like you might have to make a quick decision and shift where you're moving to. And that's kind of stuff that's technical, right? Like that's you wouldn't even know,
I have appreciation for the art, unlike some people who don't have appreciation for art.
Yeah, right.
Kind of what we're discussing, right?
Right. Do you know about Alberto Loco? Just out of curiosity.
I do not.
That's a KLB thing. So I talked about it in this. We brought the show back, bro.
Okay. Oh, perfect. My man Draven. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about post 85s. I know that.
Post 87. Post 87. We gave him a break.
Me,
it used to be post 85. Now it's post 87. Yeah, we moved it up.
Okay.
It might end up being post 90 soon, bro, with the way things are going.
Can you do post 89, bro? Because I'm 89. Can we do post 89?
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Well, remember, there's always outliers. I'll tell him, bro. I'll tell him you said that. So, so Alberto Loco, this is a true story. I'm going to go through it briefly because we got other stuff to talk about. I went back to Cuba in 94. And if you've ever been to a third world country, you're going to see things in these countries that make no sense in America. You'll never see in a civilized country. I witnessed, me and my dad, I was 10 years old, went to the old neighborhood. There's a man there named Alberto. I saw this guy. He has a full beard like Gandalf, and he's on the porch. He has a dog collar wrapped around his neck, and the chain is tied to his house, and he's barking, like just grabbing on this shit, shaking like the Ultimate Warrior, barking. And I was like, what the? And then I asked my dad, I go, what is that? And he goes, oh, it's Alberto Loco. Don't worry about it. So this guy had
Crazy Albert.
There was something wrong with him. Like he was born like, low functioning. You know what I'm saying? And so he used to, like, his sister would take care of him and he would bark like crazy. And when I told Draven the story, he thought it was the funniest thing because there's no way that America would allow a human being to be seen in a porch with a dog collar around their neck. You know what I'm saying? They just
exactly.
Yeah, and that's why it's so funny because it's only something you'll see in the other countries. So yeah, there's a lot of stories. All right, J Fox, have you seen that video of Hick Goku versus Aristocratic Vegeta? I have not. Have you?
I have actually, and there's actually two different Hick Goku videos. I know this. I think this one they made two actual videos, but there's another person who did a Hick Goku. That they just went through several scenes in Dragon Ball Z with Goku with a Hick accent.
I haven't seen that yet.
There's two channels that have done it. There's two channels that have done Hick Goku voices.
Do I just look up Hick Goku and that's it?
Literally, look up Hick Goku.
Okay. We will do that. Okay, now Junior then says, never forget your off days or your on days. I think he's talking about football because everybody has the weekends off, but y'all are working on the weekends.
Yeah.
But you guys work during the week too because you got to practice and study and
listen, man. Your off days are your on days. Absolutely. That's what kept me around so long.
Yeah. Saiyan X Zach. This is lit. Shout out to Mike Daniels. This is going down in history books. I'm kicking back, enjoying this. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Mike, I'm sure Mike does too. Anderson Tenesella. If you're Hispanic Latino, then your parents watching a lot of telenovelas as a kid made you prepared to watch anime with hundreds of episodes. That's true. But when Dragon Ball Z hit, there was really very few shows like it where you had like the cliffhanger endings going on to the next one. X-Men did it a lot. I love X-Men 92. That was like the appetizer for Dragon Ball. But Dragon Ball was the first show I can remember that had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes. Like for us as kids back then, there was no show. The Simpsons was just a few years old. They hadn't hit 100 yet. What animated show had 100 episodes, right? Like maybe Looney Tunes.
And not something in the story like that either.
Yeah, right. Yeah, ongoing. Yeah. That's, I mean, and if you count Dragon Ball and Z, 11 years of an ongoing story. And now we have One Piece that even broke that record. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show some clips and then we can comment on them. These are clips from the English dub with the subtitles turned on. I do have some stuff prepared.
By the way, shout out to saying exact because that name is legitimately straight from the old school chat rooms, bro. Straight from those old school. Everybody had the Dragon Ball name. Good stuff, man.
I kind of see that. Yeah, I kind of see
it's like with the X, you know what I'm saying? Saying exact. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the X. Yeah, that's what it is. Or at least he didn't have. All right, so we have a lot to pick from.
Let's go through all these. Please, let's go through all these, man.
All right. So we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna actually read what I said. Can you hear it, by the way?
Frieza. Right.
You can hear that?
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Okay. So I wrote here a quick example of the English Z dub adding entire lines of dialogue when nobody was speaking in the original to dumb down the show because they thought American kids were all dumber. I'm sure you probably did, and they added a bunch of crap. The thing people have to understand is it's not that you and I are these like virginal weebs, bro. It's not about being a weeb. It's that American kids are not dumb, bro. Why should American kids be fed something that other kids in other countries understood perfectly? You know, why? All right, so let's well, I might not be able to keep it on max screen because of Toei. So
help me locate Frieza.
All right.
Right, no problem.
Okay, watch. So and I have to pause it because of copyright. Okay, I have to because Toei's gonna get me now. Now listen carefully. Remember, the subtitles are turned on. So if you don't see subtitles, that means that nobody's talking.
Nobody's talking.
I don't get it. What's the big deal?
The big deal is, if the Dragon Balls are at their spaceship and Frieza isn't there for some reason,
Then Captain Ginyu and the orange guy are leaving the Dragon Balls unguarded to come here.
Why? We couldn't figure that out, bro. Fifth graders are too dumb to figure that out.
And it's like exposition for the sake of exposition, and it's not even really exposition. You're just babbling. You literally said nothing that was conducive or progressive to the story. You're literally babbling.
Yeah,
babbling. And people are defending it.
People defend it, bro. It's like they're defending the fact that they're not being respected. Like, oh no, I'm okay with being treated like an idiot. All right, here's one. Changing lines for no reasons. Guru's lines were completely changed. And I wrote here, Gohan already witnessed Frieza and his men killing old men and children in this arc, but now he's like, I don't understand why someone would want to hurt Guru. He's an old, likable man.
Grandfather.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, man.
You've seen Frieza kill old men and kids literally like 20 episodes ago.
You literally came and kicked the door because he killed Cargo.
Yeah, literally. All right, hold on. This right here, that sound effect was also not in the Japanese.
Yes, I see you have been brave and giving in your struggle.
Like how they had the Hanna-Barbera sound effects.
I know, right? They did that in the
band
Ocean dub too. They did that in the Ocean dub. Did you know that this one fucked with me? Did you know that if you watch the subbed version of Dead Zone on the Pioneer disc, some of those sound effects are still there, bro? That's weird. Even on the sub version. Very strange, bro.
Endeavors.
All right, here, watch. All right, listen to what Nadolny says. And by the way, I want to make this clear. I respect and love all these actors, and I've interviewed every single one of them. They all agree with me. They agree with me and Mike. Every single one. Rager, Nadolny, Elise, Schemmel, Sabbath. They've all said, yeah, that old dub. We didn't know what we were doing. We had just started, we were just following it's a job. It's a job.
And that's why Kai knocks it out the park.
Yeah. That isn't perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than this. So, read what Gohan says and then listen to what Nadolny says and how it doesn't match.
He's so good, he reminds you of a grandfather or something, so how could anyone want to hurt such a great guy?
Shut up! I can't take it, please! Cool it, guys! We've got company!
And what's
cool
the deal?
It, guys.
You're trying to make Goku into some, hero. Goku's a martial artist.
Yeah.
Who stands on martial artist business. And because of that, he's a good guy, bro. But I like how Gohan actually the look matches. He would hurt a grandma. No, the look matches like, yo, he don't know that he ain't gonna be able to use the Dragon Balls. Because in his mind, he's like, yo, Frieza's gonna be even more pissed if he kills him and can't use them.
Shut up! I can't take it, please. That's the other one.
Yes, I can't take it, please.
Now, okay, this one I actually was surprised to find from the Goku Ginyu fight because I actually said that for a time there was no music playing. And I actually I want to make this clear to you guys. As much as I have issues with Bruce Faulner was not the one that wanted music to play nonstop. That was Gen Fukunaga's call. That was something he admitted. Faulner actually, and all those guys have told, Faulner didn't tell me, he told Black and Fist, but those guys told me they would have preferred that there was silence, right? And then they could have more impactful music. Here we have an example. Yeah, they even wanted that. But here we have an example of no music, but watch. Remember, guys, the subtitles are turned on. So if you don't see subtitles, nobody's talking.
Wow, Captain, what a whopper!
Space Australia.
I haven't seen you get
Dragon Ball.
I came on board.
A bridge.
Quiet, Jace. I'm listening.
Why does he have to listen if he actually like has experience as a martial artist? Listen, they made him dumber, bro.
Right,
They
Captain.
made them all dumber.
To what?
Trying to be funny.
I appreciate the lack of music. And then here comes the music again. I actually appreciate the lack of music there. I really do. But that's an example of we want to look. Nobody's talking.
What a whopper!
What a
I haven't
whopper!
seen you get that revved up since I came on board.
You want to hear something too?
What's that?
When you watch the original, the sound effects have room to breathe.
Yeah, and that was that whole nuke sound effect too.
You can't hear those sound effects very well in the dub because it's almost like the sound effects are turned down, the music is turned up.
Yeah, that's something that Raleigh told me, that the equipment they had back then was bad. Which honestly, like I can't blame them. Like that's not their fault. The equipment was bad. That's at least they were able to fix some of that. But it's just that I think Dragon Ball just deserved better. Honestly, man, it's not even just Funimation. It's Toei. They don't put out a good home release. Oh, like this ain't abridged. Oh no, none of this is abridged. That's the funny part. None of it is abridged. All right, let's continue.
I should have known that the captain would take care of business. It looks like I'll be getting my bonus of 2 weeks paid vacation after all.
And then the Boeing sound effect.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Look what he said. Even if that guy's battle power is around 60,000, and Commander Ginyu's maximum fighting power is much higher. That's not what he said in the dub. I'm gonna get my paycheck in 2 weeks.
It's like when Gordo was talking about, don't kick me off the bowling team in the Ocean dub or whatever. Like, I'm like, they add unnecessary like stuff. Like, we're just normal, regular people. We're not a bunch of space mercenaries who do funny. Who ironically do a bunch of funny poses as we go and commit genocide. You get what I'm saying? No, it's like we're a typical team and we have a bowling league and we give bonuses.
What I find it most interesting is that anime fans consider.
Keep talking.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say anime fans consider this heresy if you do it to any show now. Anime fans consider this blasphemy if you do a dub like this. Right? Blasphemy.
Yeah, nah. And that's beautiful because
they defend this.
That's beautiful that they consider heresy.
But they defend this,
they'll accept this. Why? Because my childhood.
My childhood and my nostalgia. It's so weird. In fact, actually, I want to comment
they didn't even give the sub a chance back then either. That's the point I was making.
Yeah,
they didn't give the sub a chance back then. It was too different.
Yeah, but in a good way, I think. So Sewer Bushido says, back in the day, I hate all dubs except DBZ. No, people still say that. People still say that. And again, every time that I see somebody say that, I know they haven't watched the sub. I just know, like,
because they made Dragon Ball Z funny and relatable and
they do
this and that. The other ones,
it's already funny and relatable.
It's hilarious. I heard people say things about nobody feels like listening to it. Sounds like a Shakespeare play. We ain't trying to hear that. I'm like,
actually, he's more of a Shakespeare play in the dub. With the voice that what's his name gave him, bro? Damien. I can't believe I'm blanking out his name,
Mills.
bro. Mills. No, not Damon Mills. That's Frieza. Damien Clark. Thank you, Clark. Dude, I freaking tried to get an interview with that guy. I texted him and he never got back to me. So what can you do? Okay, this is typical dub Goku. Just say you're sorry for what you've done. This is so cringe, dude. Let's watch.
Get out of here right now. Yeah, I've seen about all I want to see. There's no...
Right here, this is the part. Now, Sean himself has admitted that he doesn't like his performance in these episodes. He was still learning and that's fine.
He was doing. I got
Right.
the main character, superhero. He's got to be like Superman.
No,
he's
bro.
a martial artist, bro. He's a martial artist who likes the simple things.
Mike, I don't know if I ever told you this. I've talked about it on a couple streams. When he first recorded for Goku and he saw the word Saiyan, he actually said Saiyan. And
that's how you pronounce it.
And that's how you pronounce it right. And Barry Watson says, no, we say Saiyan. Yup. And so literally Sean Schemmel, by reading Saiyan, deduced that it was Saiyan. Yuck. No, we call it Saiyan. And it's like, fuck, bro. All right, let's hear this.
Oh boy,
this dialogue.
Saiyajin.
Scared of me.
And like I said, the subtitles are on.
To be scared of me.
There's no need to be scared of me, bro. All right.
There's no need to be scared of me. Just say you're sorry for what you've done and leave, and no harm will come to you.
You're literally not explaining what's happening. Like, you take away Jason's whole, like, because it further adds to the greatness of Goku. Like, yo, Saiyans are not supposed to be this strong. And now it's showing that Goku is like,
and Goku's he's straight up telling Ginyu, this is not the maximum of my power. I can put out more power, making him even more scared. So Dub Goku says, you don't have to be scared of me if you say you're sorry, like a fucking teacher tells a kid or a little kid. And meanwhile, the Japanese Goku's like, no, you should be scared of me because this ain't my strongest. So basically,
they flanderized Goku.
But here's the thing that's crazy. Japanese Goku was kind of telling them the same shit. Like, if you just don't want to fight and if you just dip, like if you take your ship and leave, we're done. We don't have to keep fighting. But that's what Goku, but in the dub, it's
I'm strong. I'm a lot stronger than this, just so you know. So if you want to bounce, we could be done with this. No, they had to make him some self-righteous.
That's right.
And then here we go with extra dialogue.
Apologize. That's right.
We're the Ginyu Force. We do as we please.
Yeah, they have to add dialogue. They have to add dialogue when they have the camera behind the person because they don't have to match mouth flaps.
Yep.
I'm
Shinobi, that's a really dumb question, bro. You should know the answer to that question. Come on. We're not done. There's more.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You don't scare me.
Look at all this extra dialogue. That's not they're not even talking.
And people dig on the Nicktoons version. The Nicktoon version of Kai only censored like the typical censored stuff. They didn't change the dialogue except for the curse words. The dialogue, and it even had the Kikuchi score, even though it was only a part of the score. But nonetheless, the Nicktoons dub is killing this right now. Stop it.
I would agree with you.
We don't bow to anybody, not even a guy like you.
Not a single word. And this is what I tell people. This is what I try to tell people. Oh, it's not so bad. You say it's not so bad because you're not educated. See, here's the thing before we show more clips. I don't like, look, Mike, I don't like pulling rank on people. I know that I've done it in the past, but I don't like doing it. However, with some of these people, I feel like the only way for them to understand is for me to say, shut the fuck up. I've been studying this fucking show for 25, almost 30 years. I have watched it in English, Japanese, and Spanish, and you haven't. Therefore, you should humble yourself and listen to me. It's like if you and I are talking about football. Am I going to try and teach you about football? No, I'm going to shut what they call the fuck up and listen because there's nothing I could possibly teach you. But that's not how people on the internet are. Everybody on Facebook knows everything. Everyone on Instagram, they're all super knowledgeable. They all know everything. And that's why I kind of stopped debating them because it's like, dude.
Yo, Danny, a lot of people weren't even around back when the Dragon Ball, there's a Wikipedia for everything. When the Dragon Ball Wikipedia came out, how everybody Kenzenshu was constantly being like, yo, we need to fix this. They got this one, they got that one. These people don't even realize, like, you're trying to talk to people who were around when information was being brought out. And it's like, nah, that ain't right.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing is that at least the Dragon Ball Wiki improved. But like, I just never want to be that guy who's like, I don't like being that guy, but I feel like sometimes, like I don't want to, but sometimes like, dude, like you don't know what you're talking about. And again, if I tell somebody you don't know what we're talking about, it's not a personal attack. I don't think you're stupid or whatever. You just don't know. Let me tell you. And I show them evidence, and then no, my childhood. Okay,
my childhood. That's the thing. Is like my thing is at the end of the day, I'm not trying to tell you love the sub. I'm not telling you that.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying, yo, please acknowledge that this is a travesty.
Problems.
So well, even if you like it, because I like it, nostalgia feel good. I feel like you're right, but this is a travesty what they did. Because during this time period, I should say, you didn't see this happening to other anime. Not like that. No.
Yeah,
like,
well, there was
even
some,
the anime that was in the same blocks on TV with this show.
That's facts.
We talk about they scared to say death, but you turn around and hear death in Gundam, death in Reboot in Johnny Test, New Avengers Johnny Test.
Johnny Quest.
Even Johnny Quest. Yeah. Even the American shows, like
they wouldn't treat kids like they were dumb,
bro.
Not just that.
Spider-Man, X-Men, all those shows.
That I was gonna say
Batman, the animated series was a drama, man.
Bro, X-Men, the animated series, had storylines about racism, about guilt, about cheating, discrimination, cheating, infidelity,
the love track.
There were storylines about being alone and loneliness and being a loner. They talked
about Christ. Remember Wolverine was reading the Bible after with Nightcrawler?
And because Nightcrawler was the big Christian.
And these are Saturday morning cartoons where they know kids are watching.
Yeah,
They're designed for kids to watch. It's not in the afternoon where the parents can be supervised. It's in the morning where the kids are unsupervised eating a cereal.
Right. And we didn't, and the thing is, the majority of us, it didn't affect us negatively. We didn't grow up and become violent or just because there was blood on TV. Dude, did they forget that Mortal Kombat was one of the biggest games of the 90s? I played every Mortal Kombat when it was coming out. I saw all the decapitations, the heart getting ripped out. I played GTA 3 when I was like 14 or whatever, or 15. And I never had the urge to go shoot somebody, but we have to blame video games for everything. Like, it's just, oh my God, it's horrible. We got a little bit more left on this clip. Hold on.
Although I must admit, we've never really faced anyone like you. Get out of here.
I mean, nostalgia is a drug. I said it right there. All right. We're not even done. There's actually horrible.
It's okay, guys.
There's worse ones we haven't got to yet. So I wrote right here.
Keep going.
DBC Dub are the masters of talking nonstop, killing all dramatic tension in scenes and adding lines of dialogue that are unneeded, even when there is talking. Not a single line from the actual show is said. Instead, Goku and Krillin talk about their clothes. Here we go.
Guys, it's really me.
Subtitles are on.
Okay, guys, it's really me. I'm glad to see that you're all in good health.
I mean, bro. So Goku's figuring out, because remember, he was in the chamber and he sensed that energy, and now he knows for sure it's Piccolo's. It's good to see you guys are in good health.
This is the first time I've arrived at the battlefield that you haven't been all beat up.
See, that line I actually like. I just wish it didn't have to be here. But I do like that line because every time he shows up, it's always when they get beat up. But again, this is not DBZ abridged. And that's the thing about this stream we're doing, man, is there are lines from the dub that I don't hate, but doesn't mean they belong there. You know what I mean?
Mind you, he only showed it to the battlefield and everybody was beat up one time before, excluding Dragon Ball because Ten Shinhan wasn't here. Okay?
Yeah, right. And he was, yeah. Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah, well, we had a little help in that department.
It's great to
Remember, if you can't see their mouth, we can add dialogue.
see you again. I can tell you're a lot stronger now, and not just physically.
What does the not just physically mean, bro? Like, okay.
Hey, Dad, welcome back. We missed you.
That actually, pause real quick. That
Yeah.
actually wasn't a bad line.
Right.
Saying, yeah, I could tell you're a lot. Like, that wasn't bad. But,
That's Goku. That is a Goku thing to say, right?
But you
I
know
agree.
what? Not just physically could be alluded. Remember, they just showed Goku being a mind reader like 10 episodes before. Not just physically could be alluded to the fact that, yo, there's something else within you. But, you know, it's like, oh, Dub, like that actually wasn't a bad line, but it just wasn't the right line.
I mean, bro, ally to good, nightmare to you. That's a great speech if you're Captain America.
Great speech.
For another
But
character.
for that scene, no, it's like, yo, I am fully identifying that I am the Super Saiyan Son Goku, not Kakarot. I'm
Right.
identifying I am a Saiyan, and I'm embracing
But
that
I'm
I am
from
the
Earth.
Super Saiyan, but I'm from Earth.
Yes. Yes. That's a
I'm
very
the type
important.
of Saiyan you haven't even experienced doubly.
That's
you
a
really
very
should be
important,
scared.
very important character, a very important character moment for Goku right there, bro. That speech.
Yeah.
Our new duds.
Not
Oh, here we go. Check out my new duds.
Back, we missed you.
What do you think of our new duds?
not bad, but I don't think Master Roshi or Chi-Chi would approve.
And the thing is, bro, like, did they not know that
You're
phrases
trying
like
to make jokes, yo. Stop.
I know,
Stop
but here's
trying to make jokes.
what makes me laugh is did they not realize that duds wasn't even in use by this time, bro? Like, that's a very like 1991 like slang. Nobody called clothes duds in 98. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
Mondo Cool and in the when they wish Krillin at the house.
Krillin's in the house.
Come on, man.
Krillin's in the house,
Come
bro,
on,
in
bro.
1999.
Nobody was talking like that, and if they were, it was okay. Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
right. All right, now this is one that fucking irritates the shit out of me. I wrote here, Funimation producer Barry Watson assumed the guys behind Bardock were his men when they were Friezas. They didn't watch the Bardock special or even search online before dubbing the scene. This is what happens when you do absolutely zero research on the show. You're
He
cut W.
literally fought through those guys, and he's calling them men.
Yes, and here's the thing. This fucking irritates the fuck out of me. They did no research on the show that they were covering. Now, if you're not going to do research, then just follow the script from the Japanese and you ain't got to worry about nothing.
Obvious, man.
But no, we have to change everything. And because when they first saw this scene with no context, they assumed that those men behind Bardock were his men, not
men.
like you just said that they fight.
The music.
Face the music.
Don't be afraid of him, men. I'd rather be a free man at my grave than living as his puppet.
Don't be afraid of him, men. And there's the men that work for Frieza. Because and then the funniest part is when Chris Sabat, if you go back to my interview in 2016 with Sabat, right? I kind of called him out, not like in a mean way, but he goes, we didn't know what we were doing and we didn't know where to get the information. And then I was like, I knew, and I was a fat kid in Tampa. How the fuck did I know and you, who actually has connections to Toei, didn't? Like, not just that. If you went on the internet and read Dragon Ball fan sites, plenty of them talked about the Bardock special. You could have read a lot of stuff about the Bardock special that was already written on blogs. And no, we didn't. No, dude. No, you. Dude,
I watched the Bardock special like in Japanese well before it came out.
Me too.
I'm an 11-year-old kid, or I'm a 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kid.
And you knew how to read.
Right. Like, come on, man.
Okay, let me clarify this for J Fox. No, this is not the original Bardock special dub. That is a horrible dub. This is before that. This is the flashback scene in Dragon Ball Z to the special. Remember, in Japan, the special had already aired prior to this episode coming out. That's why they got this footage. In
Right.
America, the Bardock special came out after the Frieza saga. Therefore, they had no idea what they were doing. And instead of just following the script, they made up their own bullshit and looked stupid at the end of the day.
Or he's slaying.
See, he's like gulping and shit. Oh no, Bardock, we're behind you.
Come on.
Now, again, this is Frieza. These subtitles is Frieza talking. He says
Frieza.
he looks just like that last Saiyan. That's the right way to say it. Who opposed me when I destroyed Planet Vegeta. This is when he's remembering that Goku has the same hair as Bardock. Therefore, they may be related. This guy said they for real put this in the Z dub. Dog, what do you think this is abridged? They actually, Mike, some of these people actually think this is abridged when it's not. This is the official Dragon Ball Z dub, my friend.
That's how bad anime has come so far. That's how bad this dub is. People think it's literally a parody.
It's all nostalgia.
Oh my gosh.
Mike, you know, I talked to some people who saw these clips and they were like, I watched the dub and I loved it, but now that I'm an adult, and because they forget, like, I think, you know, you forget, you know how like time heals all wounds and you remember things fondly, but then when you really think about it, it's like, was that really that great? I saw some people telling me like, yo, I don't remember it being this bad. I'm like, you were enjoying it because you were a kid and it's a cool cartoon. I can't blame them for that. I'm not going to ever blame people for nostalgia.
But now you're an adult.
Now you're an adult. Yeah. Now we're all adults.
Not be disrespecting the source material, saying, "Oh man, it sounds like that's just the stuff I would hear."
And
man.
you
it
should not
like a Shakespearean play. I don't want to listen to all that. Like,
and you should not be. You should not be okay with being treated like a child. That's really it. Like, you should not be okay with being treated like a child.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
That original voice of Bardock is so bad. I'm not saying that Sean should have done it.
It's terrible. It's
yeah,
terrible.
Which is, that's
it's terrible.
Doesn't matter.
It's terrible.
See, he actually talked in the Japanese version of that scene. They didn't even put that in. Okay. This is the one. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
This
Frieza
is the
made
one.
me like this. I wasn't able to be anything else.
Mike, my friend, my brother in Christ. 2 weeks ago.
My brother in Christ.
2 weeks ago, I was on Black Bulma's stream. Now I love Black Bulma. She's watching the show in dub. I'm not really coming down on her. It's whatever. And there's a guy in the chat who says that, well, the Saiyans were not evil. King Cold and Frieza forced them to do it. And I told the guy, I'm like, no, that is not correct. They were not forced to do anything. And then he's like, yes, they were. And I told him, I said, okay, you got that from the Vegeta speech when he died, when he's like, he took me away from my father and made me do all that's, and which is not what happened. Vegeta does not say any of that in the Japanese, right?
No.
And so this guy continued to hassle me. So I had to do it. I said, listen, dog, this is what I told him. And this is my new thing now, because anybody tries to fuck with me on Dragon Ball, this is what I'm going to say. If you find me a single clip, not from the dub, from the Japanese anime or manga, where it's stated that the Saiyans were forced to kill from Frieza, I'll PayPal you $5,000 right now. Like literally, that's where I'm at. And you know what? You know what they say, Mike? It's always the same shit. Oh, you know, I don't really need the money. Oh, okay. So you're not gonna take $5,000 to prove me wrong because you can't, motherfucker. So if somebody told me, Danny, if you can prove this to me, I'll give you $5,000. I'll instantly fucking prove it to you if I'm right. So if some asshole. Yeah, and these fucking guys.
I'll gladly take it.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody should take it, but they can't. All right, so this is the Vegeta speech, right? And I said, what when he says Vegeta changed his ways? Goku says that Vegeta didn't change his ways in the Frieza arc. It happened much later. He helped Gohan because he had to and said so himself. Again, no research from Funimation, but still adding lines to butcher Toriyama's story. Let's watch the Vegeta speech. I did a whole last video on this 11 years ago.
Have to. They'll get you killed. They'll get you killed, Kakarot.
He's telling Goku that in order for him to become a Super Saiyan, he has to let go of the nice guy attitude and become vicious. Because me and Jordan have talked about this. In Vegeta's mind, because of the way he was raised by his father and Frieza, a Super Saiyan has to be ruthless like him. Goku comes along and is not ruthless and yet manages to reach the level before him. Because, Vegeta, maybe you were wrong about what a Super Saiyan is. And that's the whole story here. That's the whole story. And no, I'm not going to show the Kai dub, dude, because go watch the Kai dub on your own. I'm not going to go pull up the Kai dub now. Like, these clips I already pulled out from. We're comparing Z to Z. The Kai dub is like, I'd say like 95% accurate. Maybe 94.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't change who I am. Not on the battlefield. My feelings are my guide.
My feelings are my guide.
Like, but like they're so close. They're right there. They're right there. Yo, I can't like how you said. I just can't see I could be as cold hard as you. Like they're right there. Vegeta's telling, yo, bro, listen. You need to chill. You got to change, or else you will get killed. Like even when he told Goku when Jeets ran away, he told him like, yo, like these guys are ruthless. They will kill, do whatever they got to do. Like they're right there, but then they just
By the way, somebody in Twitch is saying they hate the ads. Then come to YouTube, bro. I don't control Twitch ads. I don't even control YouTube ads. So if you are having issues with Twitch, come to YouTube. We're multi-streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and X. All right, let's continue because there's a little bit more of this clip.
Besides, everybody deserves a chance to change their ways, just like you had.
Fool.
Okay, let's continue.
You don't know what you're dealing with.
And now we have the flashback. Now there's more to it than this. This is not the whole Vegeta speech. Here is the rest of it, right? He took me from my father when I was a little boy, then claims that Frieza blackmailed him as a kid. Frieza did not blackmail Vegeta. And so many people misunderstand Vegeta thanks to this stupid fucking English dub. And I'm turning like you, bro. I'm trying not to cuss as much lately. I'm trying to like not cuss as much, but watching this makes me cuss.
We worked so hard for him. We did everything he asked of us and
so far.
More. He took me from my father when I was just a little boy.
That's not what happened.
He made me do whatever he wanted.
He made me do whatever he wanted.
But look, when Goku turns, is when Vegeta says, yeah, we did all that. And he still killed all of us. That's what made Goku go like, wait, what? That's what makes him turn. That's what makes him turn.
Because Frieza was afraid. He was paranoid of being overthrown. And I like that. I like that character. I've always liked that.
And he would kill my father if I didn't. I did everything he asked, but
he threatened to kill my father if I didn't. So he blackmailed him. That's it. He told him, if you don't serve me, I'll kill your father. None of that happened. None of that happened. None of it. It didn't happen in the Broly movie. It didn't happen in Z. It didn't happen in the manga. Never.
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you, Doug, for giving us a different story. Oh, but you know, R.I.P. Toriyama. R.I.P. Toriyama.
They want to give pay homage, but to the man, but you know, support the butchering of his story, his single greatest properties
and his characters.
Killed him anyway, along with everyone else. He was scared of us.
See, this is at least now we're starting to get a little closer to the root. Because again, I want to make this clear. There are dub lines that match the Japanese. I'm not saying the whole thing, every line is like that. but there are so many that it fucks with the story.
Especially early on when they first got the show during this time period.
Yeah.
Scared that a Super Saiyan would be born someday.
See, this is accurate.
And rise up to overthrow him.
A touching story.
I like, remember, Mike, it's bad that Goku sounds like a grandma, but it's okay that Frieza does. Let's not forget that one.
Oh, Frieza sounds like something else that we can't say anymore.
We can't say that on the air. Yeah, we can't say that.
But back in the day, we were all saying he's a certain, you know what I mean, more than meets the eye, you know what I'm saying?
You really want... I'm not touching that. I am not touching that.
Well, I'm just saying that's what the fans were saying. I'm only saying what the fans were saying.
Right. No, there were fans that did say, I think the word they used was androgynous, which...
That's what I first learned what that word meant.
Yeah. Right. That was a big word. All right, now we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We're in the... Huh? You still there? Did he just like walk off, bro?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. We're now going to the next arc. Again, this is once again lines being changed for no reason. Let's watch.
Yes, do be quick about it. I'd rather not stay too long on this pathetic little mudball. Not that I don't just love it here.
Not a single word. Not a single word.
But I still don't see why we can't simply destroy the planet right now.
He's talking about his clan, his family needs to be the strongest in the universe. Meanwhile, not the dub.
You can be absolutely naughty, Father. It's impressive.
Naughty.
And here I've always wondered where I picked up my knack for it.
And this whole thing is Frieza explaining to the audience that he's gotten stronger since Namek. That's part of the storytelling here, to get Trunks over.
I take great pride in the fact that I have taught you all the necessary skills of life.
None of this, not even a single word is translated. How can you defend this, dude?
They're trying too hard to normalize and humanize the characters.
But we're talking about aliens that are evil, bro.
Oh, no. Like when the Buddhist monk was being chased by the door and he said, "Now I lay me down to sleep."
Oh, wow. I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
this was in the when they was being chased by the Doria in the ocean dub. Chris like, "Now I lay me down to sleep." Or Piccolo, who's literally a demon, right? At this point, telling that, have you heard the story of David and Goliath?
The Bible, bro. Well, the Bible exists in Dragon Ball. I mean, because remember, Upa and Bora did the whole Jesus Christ thing on Vampire Man, which I think was that cut from the Toonami. I think it was.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I learned a lot from watching DBZ Uncensored when I was a kid, bro.
Chris Saros.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh boy, that's a lot of my stuff is coming from.
Yeah. Well. And it continued even after he retired.
Indeed, I will. For it just so happens that I have also learned from you the fine art of revenge.
Not a single line, guys. Are you watching this? Are you picking up on the fact?
Right now, it sounds like they're just scouting the planet.
It's two different shows. It's literally two different shows.
Allow me to demonstrate by vaporizing all of the Saiyan's friends one by one.
Not a single, like nothing, bro. Like it was like they were allergic. And here's what I wrote. Trunks and Frieza confrontation from 120. The Z-dub changes every single line of dialogue. It's actually quite remarkable and repulsive. If an anime dub did this in 2025, it would be condemned and lambasted. But because it's DBZ and it provides nostalgia, it gets a pass. And then there's people. I remember there was one guy, bro, who goes, "What's gotten into you?" And I'm like, you don't know shit about me, do you? The thing that makes me laugh about Twitter is that you can tell the ones that actually watch the content and the ones that know nothing about you. And a lot of them don't know shit. They may have heard something about me or seen a post.
At all.
They don't know nothing. I've been trashing this shit since day one, bro. From day one,
that's what made me start listening to you.
Yeah.
I was, okay, yeah, I like this.
Yeah. All right. Here's this. I think this might be the last one.
I'll tell you what, kid. Let me give you a piece of advice. He who acquires his skills quickly is he who is the first to perish.
How does that make any sense, bro? Here's the funny thing. Here's what's really funny about that. He who acquires his skills quickly is the first to perish. Isn't that what happened to Frieza in Resurrection F? So if Frieza already knows this in this part of the story, then you've just made Resurrection F not make any sense. But once again, the dub had to change shit. And so in the future, when you look back on shit and you compare it to the future story of Frieza, there's a massive contradiction. Frieza would never say that because he didn't believe it himself.
No, he didn't.
Horrible, bro.
Thanks for the tip.
Huh? Why?
Listen up.
And Trunks is just fucking laughing at him and clowning him, bro.
Now I've got one for you, Frieza. Know your enemy. You've already made some pretty big assumptions about me, and that's a mistake that's going.
So he told Frieza, it's a shame that you came to Earth just to be killed, right? And now
in the old anime labs one, it's a shame that
takes some balls to come to Earth.
It takes balls to come back to Earth half dead in a tin can just to be killed.
Mike, I put that in my Dragon Ball Unseen, and people were like, Goku would never say that. Because I had Goku say it to Frieza, and I was like, dog, that's an Easter egg, but you can't win them all, bro.
You're not, you will never get it.
Yeah, unless you were around back then.
Who was the guy, Larry, in the anime labs, whatever? Like, they would be crashing out about him in the subtitles.
Talk about Hank.
Hank. Yeah, I need to know the tea or the story with that one. Like, you got some of that.
That's the biggest Dragon Ball mystery. To this day, we don't know who Hank is and what he did to those guys.
So where do anime labs come from? Who are they?
All I know is that I heard they were from like Jersey. That's all I know, and I don't even know if that's true.
There was a place in North Jersey or New York City that did sell the
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah,
the fan subs.
Yep, DBZ tapes at AOL.com. I think I ordered one of them, two of them. That's how I got to finally see the Saiyan saga.
In Japanese. Awesome. Yeah, I had to mail stuff around, but then flea markets and places like that. I mean, those were Chinatown had a lot of that stuff.
That's a mistake that's going to cost you dearly.
You insolent brat! You should really learn to control your tongue.
And now he's talking to his dad, but they cut that.
Just destroy him already. We haven't got all day.
I actually don't hate that line, but again, it's the voice for King Cold is also not the best. It's, I don't know, something about it.
Really, Father? Have some patience. I'm just trying to have a little fun, if you don't mind.
Not a single word, bro. Not a single. I'm still waiting for an accurate translation.
He's right, though. You really don't have all day. More like 5 minutes.
You two will be killed by me instantaneously. This I know. And then he's over here saying 5 minutes.
Oh, that's too.
Did you forget how long 5 minutes was on Namek?
Come on, man. Especially with Frieza. 5 minutes to Frieza.
5 minutes to Frieza, like two weeks.
Dinner plans.
Here we go, bro, with the dinner plans.
Come on, man.
And here I made dinner plans. They had to make Dragon Ball Z like every other American cartoon. Oh, this is the last one. I'm sorry. This is the last one.
Frieza was laughing.
The native language.
That was my native language.
Yeah. Texas hillbilly Barry Watson. Here's the fucking precious dub you weirdos defend, bro.
A little proposition.
Pay attention.
Ask you in my native language.
I'm listening.
Hello,
all he does is laugh in the Japanese.
Because Frieza said, I'm getting annoyed, and Goku's like, yeah, me too. And Frieza's laughing at him like, buddy, you have no idea.
Yes, and it's great shit talk from these two, but it's bro, like my native language, like they literally just made that up. Frieza doesn't have a native language. Like that's the at least we don't know about it.
A little proposition I'd like to ask.
Let's watch that one more time. Hold on. I'm listening. All right. He could have just said "so am I" there, but why? Like, why?
It means let's get down to business. No more sandbagging. What do you say?
And it's like this is it's making the same point as the Japanese, but
It
why are you
is.
inventing languages, bro? Like,
Sounds good.
Unnecessary.
Sure.
A little
yeah. And don't
And
forget
here's
the
another
fact
thing.
that that's it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. The narrator was like
Talks forever.
was OD, but when you watch him later in Kai, I don't know if it's the same voice, the same narrator, but he's way more refined. He sounds like the Japanese narrator.
Yeah. Well, the Z dub, they kept that. I think it's from the Ocean dub. That whole stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, and the Japanese never did that. The Japanese would just have like one or two lines like, can Goku resolve this problem? And then it would just end there instead of stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of. But again, why are they saying stay tuned for scenes? Because they think that American kids are going to change the channel because they all have ADD and they're all mentally ill.
Yeah,
it's very insulting, bro.
But here's another thing too that they removed. They did it very rarely. Is that Goku would be talking about what's going to happen in the next episode.
In the Japanese, it was always Goku, except for a couple episodes that Bulma and like Yamcha. There was one one of the villains talked. I think Pilaf.
Hi, it's Goku, you know?
Yeah. And they did do that. The Funimation dub did that a couple times.
That's what I'm saying.
But it wasn't until Kai where they did it every time.
Where they really was like, we're going to be an actual faithful dub.
You know what I'll bet? Knowing these guys now, I'll bet Sean pushed for that. I'll bet Sean was the one that was like, I need to be doing that. And because Sean will do anything to get more lines, bro. And I'm saying that with respect. I'm not saying that like,
right.
It's good business. But you know what? It's this whole thing. I mean, we're showing examples. It's not meant to kill your nostalgia. You can watch the dub at any point you want. It's just more so like, dude, like there are problems here.
Right. Please identify the problems. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. And please don't defend this. Don't defend it from me. I noticed, though, that people who do that are ones that aren't really that familiar with what I've done. Because if you follow my channel, I've interviewed all these people, dude. You know, I've
spoken to the people. Come on, man.
I have tried to get Barry Watson on, bro, but he doesn't respond to any emails. Probably he might know that I'm going to grill his ass. You know, I'm going to ask him.
He probably does.
When I talked to Sabbath, I wasn't over here. I wasn't doing any of that, bro. I was like, explain to me why y'all did this, why y'all did that.
I just need to know why. I just need to know why because it's confusing me, and I don't like being confused.
Same. All right, we got 3 super chats here. Then we can get out of here if you'd like. Lil Boom says, still watch you every day, Geekdom. You saved my life when I was homeless in 2016, and I never stopped watching you since. You put me on to Pepper Lunch. First of all, Pepper Lunch is awesome. I went to Pepper Lunch in Japan. It's amazing, and now they built one in the Tampa Bay area, and I haven't been to it yet, but I love Pepper Lunch. And second of all, I don't know how I saved your life when you were homeless, but I appreciate that. People always say things like this, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what did I do? Like, it's not like I found the guy home. You know what I mean? Like, that would be really saving it.
Man, you who knows? Your content, something.
Maybe I think people, what I was told is that I think people could listen to the videos and like forget their problems. You know what I mean? Like escapist entertainment, like what wrestling used to do. And like that, and anime does. So if you come home from work and you had a hard day at work, or your girlfriend broke up with you, or something happened that's fucking with you, you could watch like a Dragon Ball episode and then hear me talk about it. And it's not even, I mean, that's all I can think of, you know?
Nah, you're thinking right. You're thinking right.
And again, I'm not even like, I'm very humble when it comes to that. Like, I don't even think that I feel very like, I don't know what the word is. I feel very like, almost like I don't know how, but I am grateful, if that makes sense. So yeah. Okay. Bosnian legend Watch Mojo said OG Funny Dub is closest to manga. First of all, Watch Mojo, bro. Like, okay, now here we go. Speaking of which, Mike, I'm gonna destroy somebody right now live. You probably saw this. You're about to get destroyed. I just saw
it, bro. I wanted to comment on this so bad.
You're about to get destroyed. I hate the Toonami haters. One of the reasons why DBZ blew up was the Bruce Faulner score and the style it had.
May I just warm this?
You want to get him? Go for it.
I literally just mentioned that we download actual full Toonami broadcast with the original commercials, WOC. Danny leaked them. He said the same thing.
Not just that. There's more to it than that.
We love Toonami. We love Toonami.
I don't think he's talking about us necessarily, though.
I don't think he's talking about us, but I'm just saying it's like, I don't think there's Toonami haters. People don't hate Toonami. They hate what was done to the dub.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z didn't blow up because of the Faulner score. It blew up because it's an awesome show.
No, here's where I can take what you just said, bro, and literally rip it apart. When Dragon Ball Z first aired on Toonami, right, it did record ratings. When it first aired on Toonami, it was the Ocean dub. When the Ocean dub did Dragon Ball Z,
it was the Shuki Levy score.
Was Shuki Levy and Ron Wasserman. So literally what you just said is objectively false. It's not even like and I don't want to hear it's your opinion. No, we're talking about facts versus fiction. The fact is that when Dragon Ball Z blew up on Toonami, Bruce Faulner wasn't even hired until a year and a half after Dragon Ball Z had already blown up. And that's a fact.
Talk about it.
I don't understand people like, dog, you can listen. If you want to fucking suck off Bruce Faulkner's ass, bro, be my guest. I don't really care. But if you're not going to come in here and actually spread misinformation, and yes, I agree with Judge Dredd. Bruce Faulner fanboys are the most clueless. Like, they really are. Like, this idea that Faulner saved Dragon Ball. Let me ask you a question, dog. If Faulner saved Dragon Ball, then why is it that Dragon Ball is popular in every single other country of the world and none of them have Faulner, bro? Explain that to me, bro. I'll wait.
If Faulner saved Dragon Ball, why since Kai there's not why since the inception of Kai there's not been a Faulner score used ever again?
Well, here's what's funny, right?
Dragon Ball's
he sued Funimation and they're never going to use him again, right? That's a fact. However, if Bruce Faulner is so talented, why hasn't he done any other anime? Why is it that you never hear about him doing anything else? Dang. He hasn't done shit else since Dragon Ball Z if he's so good, bro.
What's my man that did the Fist of North Star dub music?
I have no idea.
He did the opening.
I do not know the answer.
I forget his name, but he was the same one did the opening of Street Fighter 2, the animated series of the dub.
Street Fighter 2 V? I actually like that music.
Bro, right. And then the opening to Fist of North Star. I'm like, look, listen. We're not saying we hate it. You know what I mean? We're just saying that.
I am not saying I hate the Faulner score, but I'm not going to sit here and let somebody say, oh, Faulner is the reason why it got popular. Like, no, bro, anybody who says that is objectively wrong, dude. Like, it's not about, like, it's objectively wrong. Like, Faulner, you might like the music all you want, bro, but that is not correct. Dragon Ball Z blew up because it's Dragon Ball Z.
Not because of Bruce Faulner and all the stuff.
Speed Punch. I used to like this dub before I watched sub. Well, that's why I tell everybody to watch the sub, because they eventually you know, they eventually stop. Like when you watch the sub, you then realize how fucked up the dub is, especially if you pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, but the point is that, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Faulner music sucks. I don't personally think it fits with Dragon Ball, but I have listened to it outside of Dragon Ball, and it is not bad music at all, bro. Like
he said, it's not Bruce. I know the other guys made it that hyped up DBZ so much. The fact,
yeah, and they're proud of that.
He said the fact it had so much electricity that other dubs and even DBS did not have.
I mean, but that's fine. That's your opinion. You like the music. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But there is something wrong with saying it's the reason why it's popular when we have numbers.
One of the reasons it blew up. He's
But that's still wrong, because it's not.
The Faulner score. I'm not going to say that's why it blew up. I'm going to say that just so happened to be the music. Dragon Ball could have had clown music. That thing would have been tight because of the fights.
I'll tell you what. Here's the big secret nobody ever talks about, except me probably. Do you want to know that did you know? I'm sure you knew this, Mike. But did you know that the only reason why Bruce was hired is because he was cheap? The only reason why Funimation hired him is because they were like, yeah, this guy will do the music for almost no money. And then he ends up taking most of the money and paying the guys who actually did the music $11 an hour. So here we have musicians working on the biggest cartoon of the 90s outside of maybe South Park, somewhere around there, and they're making $11 an hour when it's the biggest cartoon, the biggest, like the shit of the late 90s, and they didn't even get paid like what they deserved. You know what I mean?
Somebody just said it shouldn't even be called the Faulner score.
Well, actually, Seed of Might, most of us don't even call it that. If you look at the Seed of Might files, it doesn't say Faulner. It says Morgan, Scott, and Dobosh, because that's what it is. Huh?
The what files you said?
Wait, me? No, the Seed of Might. The Seed of Might Dragon Ball versions, when you right-click them to see what music you want, right? It doesn't say Faulner. It says 1999 to 2003, Morgan, Smith, Dobosh. It has like all the composers listed side by side. So
got it.
We need to highlight the guys more. Brother, I did an entire concert on this channel with the Faulner guys, and we did an interview. I did 5 videos on this, bro. I'm gonna have to go back and re-upload a bunch of my old videos.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have no clue, like how you had the series Dragon Ball in depth. Like, people don't really understand.
I still have it.
There you go.
In fact, wait till you see the next one. The next one I got coming out, I'll show you a little bit of it real quick. The next one I got coming out is, and you're gonna appreciate this one. This is why you should not skip OG Dragon Ball. This video will be up. So this video is gonna be up on February 26th, 2026, on the day of the 40-year anniversary of Dragon Ball is when this video is coming out. I want you to know I have done that, and I'm continuing to do it. So yes,
I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea this person put.
No, that is a good idea, and I am gonna keep doing that. I have done it a little bit, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So, well, thank you, Jordan. I actually wasn't the one that put it together. They did and offered it to me, because everybody wants to get on my ass about criticizing. You know what's funny about this, Mike? Everyone gets on. This makes me laugh. People get on my ass for criticizing Schemmel. Meanwhile, I got his motherfucking phone number, and they're just fans on the internet. People get on my ass about criticizing the Faulner score. Meanwhile, those guys come to me for it's not even an ego thing. It's like, you don't even know that I know these people on like a personal level. It's not even
you
like
checking people, man. Like letting, like they don't, like you gotta let them know, like, bro, you don't know what I know. You don't know who I know.
Yeah, and it's not even like a humble brag, although it may sound like that. It's like, dude, I've talked to Sean about this. Sean Schemmel and I have had conversations that will never be public about like his personal life and things I'm not going to get into, that he would only tell a friend, like stuff that he doesn't even want to talk about from his childhood. So,
wow.
And that's not even an ego thing. It's just people tend to trust me, and I'm not somebody who gossips and shit. I mean, when I first got into Dragon Ball YouTube, I did do a little bit of gossiping, but after a while I grew out of it because, you know, like I'm a man, bro, with a cock and balls. Anyways, Mike, I gotta show you this clip because this is the new editing style coming to my channel for all the big videos from now on. We're going to use this editing style. I think it's way more engaging, I think. And I'm going to show something badass in a minute. You'll see. Let's watch. That Dragon Ball is not a prequel. Dragon Ball does not exist to set up Dragon Ball Z. The definition of a prequel is a story that contains events that precede those of an existing work. So, for example, the Bardock special, that could be considered a prequel because it came out after Dragon Ball was already established during the run of Dragon Ball Z, but takes place years before the first episode. That you can call a prequel. No, Dragon Ball is literally the first half of the story. Also, fun fact, Dragon Ball Z is literally just Dragon Ball renamed. Despite what some people may say or what the video games say, Dragon Ball Z is really not its own series. It's just part of Dragon Ball. As the series progressed, showrunners Takao Koyama and Kozo Morishita chose to rename Dragon Ball because in their mind, they thought that Toriyama was almost done. And in actuality, he wasn't, because Dragon Ball Z is longer than Dragon Ball, although it wasn't intended to be. But if we go back to those early days that Toei Animation was getting ready to adapt the Vegeta saga, there are early scripts written into Toei Animation that list Dragon Ball Z Episode 1, The Arrival of Raditz, as Dragon Ball Episode 154.
Yep.
So this was a huge discovery that we made just a few years ago, because I had heard about this being the case for years. Somebody, I think it was Mr. Shinmaru, bought one of these. This is an internal Toei document. It's a Genga storyboard. And literally, bro, it's listed as Dragon Ball 154, which means that in a parallel universe, there is no Dragon Ball Z. The Saiyan saga is the 8th story arc of Dragon Ball, and it was Dragon Ball all the way to the end.
Well, it's just like the Naruto, right? You got Naruto, the Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah, but it's still Naruto in the manga, right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Raditz as Dragon Ball Episode 154. At one time, there was not even supposed to be a Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that's the new editing style. I think it's more engaging. Yeah, I think it's more engaging. I like it, and a lot of the videos are gonna have more like that type of shit. I'm just showing the people. What makes me laugh is I was hearing people say in 2016 I was running out of ideas. In 2017, I'm running out of ideas. In 2018, I'm running out of ideas. In 2019, I'm running out of ideas. Or 2020, I'm running out of ideas. And it just continues to go on. And it's like, I literally have a notebook with 2,000 video ideas that no one has. Well, no, some people have done similar videos, but I haven't even touched on. Bro, I got a series I'm working on called Dragon Ball Strongest Artifacts. That's going to be a lot of fun, going over like Whis' wand and the super, shit like that. I'm going to go into the God hierarchy. Like, there is so much stuff, bro, and this is not even like an ego thing. I'm just saying Dragon Ball has given us so much material that I could be doing this for another 10 years, bro. There's so much to talk about.
I'll be listening for another 10 years too.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that for sure. But I hope, and then there's also obviously covering the new stuff, because I actually was thinking about doing a video called "Who is Moro?" to kind of explain to the people who haven't read the manga who he is, because there's a lot of people, bro, that came back, right? And like, you know, like they didn't read the manga and they came back now that the Super's going to continue, and they don't even know anything about Moro. And it's like, and that's weird because most fans want to at least keep up, but you know, it's whatever. So we have,
man.
We got one more super chat. All right. This is from Krishna Sai. On an unrelated note, I'm excited for DBS to be coming back for a second season or second reason. Okay, I was gonna say it's not really a season, but I know why you're saying that. And that is because of your weekly episode reviews. Those were on one of the highlights of my Sundays. Well, I hope it's not on Sunday. I hope it's on Friday because I like the Friday time slot more. But yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. And so wait, hold on, Mike. I'm gonna ask you a question, but I got Jordan's over here. Mandalorian plug. I thought I did that already, but yes, the Mongolian. We are bringing back the Mongolian next month in March with Super. We're going to start covering the Super manga, Jordan and I. Mike, me and Jordan have done this series called The Mongolian, where we went back and we read the entire manga from volume 1 to 42.
Boy.
Live. Yeah, they're live shows. They range from like 2 hours to 3.5, like this stream. And we literally read the manga. Like, we don't read it like word for word, but like, you remember the manga review of Awesomeness that Kanzenshu did? It's sort of like our version of that, but we go even deeper. So we're talking about like the Sun Wukong shit and like, you know.
Beautiful. I need that.
Yeah, it's up on the channel now. The thing I want to let everybody know is if you're wondering about streams, YouTube has moved the streams from, they're not in the videos page anymore. You have to click the live button. So where it says home video shorts live, all the streams are going to be in live now. YouTube has split everything. So this stream will be there as well.
Good.
So anyways, what do you have any, before we get out of here, do you have any final thoughts, bro? I know it's getting late. I did not want to keep you this long. I mean, it was 10 p.m.
Man,
but actually we could go more, but I'm not going to keep you.
Yo, let's do a part 2. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
what
say
did
this,
you,
man.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, finish your thought. My thought.
No, I was actually going to ask you what you thought about, what you think about the Moral arc finally being animated, but I feel like everybody kind of knows the answer.
Yeah, well, we've been waiting on it. It's finally happening. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Toyotaro finish Dragon Ball?
Bro, I don't even know
because I'm like this. I'm like
as far as I'm
Toriyama
concerned,
Sensei passed, I was like, yo, you can't do no more new material.
So you think it should just end and that's it?
Yes, I'm still up in the air about it though. You know what I mean?
I'm conflicted because as a Dragon Ball fan, look, as a Dragon Ball fan, Dragon Ball ended in 95 for me. Like, that's really when Dragon Ball ended. The original story Toriyama wanted to tell ended in the 90s.
Yeah.
All this new shit is like DLC. It's not the original vision of Akira Toriyama. It's just new stuff he came up with. And I'm not saying that makes it less valuable. In my eyes, it's not as valuable as the original story. What I mean is I can watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z for the rest of my life without ever watching Super. I can read the original manga for the rest of my life without actually reading Super because there's so much of it. That's my mentality. So as a fan, fine. As a businessman, obviously I want it to continue because even though I have other forms of income, this is the form of income I have that's the most fun. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a blast to do this, man. And it's, again, I'm so blessed to have this as a career. Like, I'm very humbled by it and I'm grateful.
So, yo, listen, man, you've you built a phenomenal platform, a phenomenal follower, man, and I'm glad to be part of it. I appreciate you letting me talk again. You know, I talk a lot, but
No,
the thing
I
is
talk a
that
lot.
there's but there's some things need to be said, and these people needed to hear that your reasoning is just slow flawed. That just throw it out the window and let it get ran over by a truck. You know what I mean? Like, just that very basic minded way of thinking. I just don't get down like that, yo. Oh, my nostalgia. All right, bro.
I agree with this. Well, it's just very childish too, bro. Like that, you know. And again, everybody has nostalgia. I mean, bro,
Yeah,
I have
to a certain
nostalgia.
do.
I have nostalgia for Hulk Hogan, and yet there was a video that came out recently after he passed away of a promo he cut on Tony Atlas, and he's like, "Brother, the only thing you do better than me is eat watermelon and fried chicken." And I'm like, we should have known then. Like, I didn't even know he had said that, bro. Like, so Hulk Hogan, not a perfect person, but he was a big part of my childhood. What am I supposed to say, Mike? Oh, well, because he was a big part of my childhood, I forgive him for the shit that he said. I mean, he did apologize. So, and people fuck up. I am not the kind of person who holds grudges anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people are complicated. People are complicated. So like with Dragon Ball, like, yeah, it could be your child, but why does that's not, but now you're an adult. So now it's like, hey, like, now it's time for you to watch the real Dragon Ball. That's the way I see it. So I got a video stream on Saturday. Every Saturday at 1, we watch the entire thing from OG. Right now we're in the Cell Saga.
I'm in there.
Are you?
I'm coming to watch, man.
Oh, okay, because we've been doing it for a couple of years now. I didn't know you were lurking.
No. I'm coming to watch.
Okay. Well, the next one's going to be on Saturday. We're going to do we're doing Piccolo versus Cell. Dog, the last episode we did last week, bro, which is Dragon Ball Z 142. That episode had 10 key animators. And I forgot, because, you know, like when you watch Dragon Ball Z when you're younger, it's obviously different than when you're older. That's what this whole podcast is. This whole show is about, like, growing up. And, like, bro, this will be the last thing before we get out of here, because hold on. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for real quick, and then we'll be gone. I know you can hear it, but it's not on the screen yet. Hold on. That thing is not. Hold on. This is. Give me 1 second, bro. No. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna play the whole episode, but this episode, right, had 10 key animators, including it was Maeda, Nakatsuru, Masaki Sato, whose birthday's on Saturday. Bro, I forgot how sweet this fight is, bro. I forgot how good the animation was. Look at this. I have to be careful because I'm going to get copyrighted for this. I know I am. Bro, the moving camera from the first person view. Oh my God. I'm marked out for this, bro. Even as a grown ass man, I'm still marking out.
So you can appreciate it.
Oh my God. The whole show should look like that. I want to get to the part where he does. Yeah, this is the part where he does the Makanko. There's a part where Piccolo hits him with a right hook that looks like the most devastating right hook ever, bro. I think it's here. Yeah, it's right here. Hold on. This is a great fight. Yeah. Here comes the hook. Here it comes. Ooh. And that's the thing. Oh my! And that's the thing too is, and I'm not gonna go back to shitting on the dub, but like the dub sound mixing, I think didn't let us hear that hit like as hard as we were supposed to.
And that's the point I was making.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
When they go Super Saiyan in the original, there's like a echoing effect, not like what they do in the Americans, but it's like the
great ape effect in the background. You can hear it there. Like if you
is that what it is?
Yeah, with Gohan, with Gohan. I'll show you. Hold on, give me a second. I want to see that hook one more. It's and almost Frieza, unfair.
No, that's awesome. And Frieza had a very interesting like sound when he was powering up in his first form to go attack Vegeta, and they had their little standoff. His voice had like the echo effect to that. It was different. It was just different.
Yeah. And I remember when Ultra Instinct was coming out, people were having all these theories about what the growling noise is, and I'm like, yeah, you're dubbies, because if you watch it in Japanese, you hear the great ape every time, including Gohan. Let me see if I can get I'm just gonna go right to the scene. Everybody knows this scene, bro. Okay, wait. Let me see. Okay, so you have to listen carefully. This is not for you, Mike. This is for the chat. You gotta listen carefully,
when
right?
The bird gets shot.
No, that's the cooler movie you're thinking of. The bird.
No, I'm talking about right here. Right here, the bird gets shot.
No, the bird. Oh, you mean with the red beam goes through Gohan's head, but you'll see when he like does the scream, you can hear in the background the like it's there, like the great ape. That's the great ape. I'm a fanboy for this, bro. Yeah, see, the bird's already gone. It went through his head, bro. He snapped. Okay, right here you can hear the roar of the great ape. You hear it in the background.
I never knew that noise was the great ape. What?
Now I don't. And guess what? Super Saiyan 3, you can also see it. You actually see the great ape, and they always have the great ape noise. When somebody goes Super Saiyan, like not every character, but I mean like when they first have a new form, they always have the great ape. It's like a thing, like a hey, you know. Please remember, unfortunately, everyone can see and therefore watch subs. I know, bro. This stream is not for people. If you're visually impaired, obviously you have to watch dubbed. I mean, that's obvious. This is for people who can read. Anyways, Mike, it's late, bro. I don't want to hold you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I had a great time talking to you and getting some shit out and watching little clips here and there of Dragon Ball. You know,
I had a lot to get off my chest, man.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do, because I got invited to do a con in Houston, Texas, and maybe I could take it around the country, is I kind of want to like watch Dragon Ball with people, right? Like actually watch it with people and break it down like in person. Because I will say this, also on the 26th of February, that's next Thursday, Lance and I, Miss Their Fusion, are going to watch Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle on Twitch and X. And that's going to be a lot of fun, bro, because that's the most underrated Dragon Ball movie. So
I won't deny that. That's the one that's Sleeping Prince Devil's Castle. That's the one with Dracula.
Yeah, Lucifer. Lucifer is what his name was. Bro.
Right.
Lucifer. Yeah, even though it was clearly Dracula, they called him Lucifer. So,
exactly.
Yeah, wrong demonic thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but thank you again, bro. It really means a lot that you were able to hang out.
Let me tell you something. Thanks for having me. For real, man. We got so much more to keep unpacking too, man.
Yeah,
so much more.
Well, I'll see if I can. If later on you need the Seed of Might versions of Dragon Ball, and then you can have the broadcast audio so you can hear because you really can hear it. The Great Ape Roar is way cleaner on their version. If you watch like the sub version that's on the Dragon boxes, it's muffly. We did get one last super chat here. from Kosuke James. I hope they don't change the OST for Goku Black's theme and the Birth of God for the remake. I mean, that's an unrelated question to this topic, but I will say I agree with you. Some of those super themes were bangers, but we do not know who the composer is yet. So,
yeah, and the I mean, hell, the Ultra Instinct theme became a meme.
They can't get rid of that. That's the one. No, keep that. Bro, I'll be livid if they get rid of that, bro. That might be my favorite like piece of super soundtrack. That and the Broly.
Yes, man. That takes me back to the Kikuchi score from way back in the Gap, man.
Yeah. Sumitomo
character themes, you know what I mean?
His Kai and his Battle of Gods music was amazing. Resurrection F music was kind of ass, but his themes for the Trunks arc, Tournament of Power, and Broly, I thought were great. So I kind of do want him to come back. So,
right.
Yeah.
Awesome,
all right,
man.
y'all. Have a good
Brother
one.
man.
Take care. Yep.
Have a good one.
We will
do
talk
this
soon.
again.
Yes, we will. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later this week. Probably. I don't know. Take care.